everyone. Coach Sullivan here again with MJS Coaching Football. To my subscribers, a thank you. Non-subscribers, I'm really hoping to tease you into pushing that button. I've completed this past fall my 38th year coaching football. I was a defensive coordinator, but over that time I've also been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, longtime head coach, and all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. In this presentation, I'd like to talk to you about our match quarters variation that we call grade 3, okay, versus Dakota. Now, remember, we use state names to symbolize two-man route concepts, okay? So Dakota will make sense when I tell you what the two-man route concept is, all right? Now, over here, I got the key terms that in order for us to defend Dakota, right, that will come into play. And then over here, I will make it visual for you in the diagram, and also include why it's 9-on-9 football. So the first key term here is surface. And so what's meant by the surface, is the offensive line, okay? Tackle, guard, center, guard, tackle, and when there's a tight end, the tight end becomes a part of the surface. So everybody's reading the surface and reacting to it because it tells you run, pass, and direction. Okay, so right now I'm going to tell you that the offensive line part of the surface is pass setting. So we're getting a hi-hat, and whether it's hard or a soft set doesn't matter for the purposes of this demonstration. And the tight end will be in the two-man route concept, so that's a significant tell as well. You piece the two things together. Non-subscribers. All right, so the first key term over here is the surface, like I said, okay? Everybody is reading and reacting to it. The second key term, read number 2 tells you what to do. Read number 2 tells you what to do. Well, there, it's grade 3. Gray is our quarters. It becomes match quarters with a number at the end. So 3 means we have 3 defenders reading and reacting to number 2 on that side. 3 defenders reading and reacting number 2 on their side. Single coverage, not split coverage, but it operates independently. I'm going to show you Dakota on both sides just so I can show you the technique difference between an attached outside linebacker on a tight end and a detached outside linebacker in space, okay? Otherwise, usually you get Dakota on one side and another concept on the other, okay? And so what number 2 is doing here is a slant. And what Dakota is, number 3, a double slant concept. Dakota, right? Double slant. It's the only pass concept we have, begins with the letter D. So we got a double slant concept, okay? So now number 4, we talk about the attached outside linebacker. That's the linebacker, outside linebacker on a tight end, What's meant by knockback is on the movement of the tight end, our outside linebacker is getting a fistful of tight end. That's the knockback. And then they're going to execute what we call Bronco. Okay, it's a simple technique, Bronco. But non-subscribers, you have to push the button. Okay, so they're going to execute the Bronco technique, which I will show you. And then it's running back or crosses. Again, I'll show that to you over here. So the technique difference between attached on a tight end and detached in space, when it's on a tight end, you have knockback. In space, detached, there's no knockback. So he's going to execute the Bronco then, right? Because no knockback, then it's going to be running back to crossers. So I'll show that to you momentarily over here, okay? So here's the big thing now, right? I showed you the grade 3. So number 6, our boundary and field corners, they're number 1 man. And it's going to show it to you in off, but we can also do it in press. Okay? So that's why it's 9-on-9 football. As you'll see, corners to us aren't involved, neither is number 1. All right, that's the 9-on-9 football. So number 7 is our safeties, right? The whip and the free. What they end up doing, because there's no verticals, right? Double slant, they sit, zit, and read quarterback indicator. Sit, zit, read quarterback indicator. And I'll show you how that works out here. And then finally, last and certainly not least, are the inside linebackers. What the inside linebackers are is they're going to cut number 2, and then it becomes man. Sorry about that. Our inside linebackers are going to cut 2, and then they got a man. Okay? Cut 2, and then they got a man, which enables our outside linebackers to play the Bronco, which the hope is slows down and clogs up the window for the slant to number 1. Even though number 1 has a guy on. You see? So I'm going to bring all this to life for you right now. So, in red, right? Dakota. Usually what we see is a 3-step slant. You get down in the goal line area, it might become a 1-step slant, right? So 3-step slant. When it's a tight end, it typically becomes just a crossing route like that. Okay, whereas over here, both receivers are in space, so you're going to get 2 3-step slants. They're going to be at different levels because 2's off the football. Okay? So now let's show you how we would defend this, starting with the corners. Okay, our alignments are the skies. All right, there's a freebie, non-subscribers. So they're an outside leverage. They too are reading the surface, except now, when the ball snapped, reading surface, they are stemming inside 1 yard. The surface tells them it's pass. It's now all about number 1. Same thing over here. Stem, all about 1. So in the off man, I'm not going to get into all the different techniques and principles, but suffice it to say, they're going to, quote unquote, sit, play off man, let the receiver come to him, right? When he reads that break, he's going to plant and drive and cut the route. He knows he has deep help over the top in case it's what we call a sluggo, double move. So we want him to be aggressive, plant and drive, and it's going to be the same over there. Plant and drive, cut the slant. Okay, and he can be aggressive because if it becomes a double move, he's got the safety over the top. Okay, so over here, same thing. Plant and drive, cut. He can be aggressive because he has a safety over the top for a double move. Okay, so now, all right, normally what I would do is erase all of this because it's 9-on-9 football. But now what I want to show you is both the attached and the detached outside linebacker with the Bronco and why we have them execute the Bronco. Okay? So starting off here, right? Remember the first thing, knockback, right? Always getting a fistful of tight end. So he's the only one whose pressure and visual key is the same guy, tight end, and he relies on hearing pass from his inside linebacker and his defensive back buddies, right? So, and when he hears it and the number 2 now is releasing inside and he turns, he lets him go, and he automatically knows that he's going to open and look, and when he sees the slant, he's just going to sit in the window. That's the Bronco. Sit in the window and get your eyes on the quarterback. So if the quarterback is turning and looking to throw that slant to number 1, what you just did is you bought time for the corner to plant and drive and cut it. Okay, plant and drive and cut it. And now if the quarterback either looks away or looks over here, the running back, now he'll react accordingly. Okay, but that's what's meant by the Bronco. So then it becomes running back 2 or crosser. So a crosser is somebody coming from the other side. And in either case, right, if it's number 2, the inside linebacker is going to have it man. And if it's number 1, the corner is going to have it man. Okay, so he's going to have help with the crosses. This is a very, very solid coverage for Dakota, double slants. So then over here, right, it's going to be the same thing minus the knockback. The slant's going to cut across his face. So Bronco he's just going to sit and get his eyes to the quarterback. So he's not moving laterally, expanding outside like he normally does in our match quarters grade 4. Okay? So hopefully, again, now we're getting him to look here and stop. And what's going to happen over here? So now I'll bring this in. Same thing, right? Be aggressive, double move. You're not going to play him because the rules are the inside linebackers have 2 when he comes inside to him, right, on 10. What I'm going to do now, starting here, is they're going to open. They read the slant. They go and cut it now. That's the cut number 2. And cut means get inside, get in between quarterback and receiver. See that cut? The black line here is the linebacker. The red line is the receiver. He is in between quarterback and number 2. And then he's got to cut, baseball, turn, and run with it because it's man. So he has the inside leverage. And same thing. If it becomes a double move, you have the safety help over the top as well. Here, boom, this is a lot quicker. Cut, and then run with it, man. And you stay in that, what we would call a wall leverage on a vertical, right? When you cut it and then stay with it, you're building a wall, again, in between quarterback and the receiver. So now the last, normally it's the linebackers, but I had to do them out of order. What the safeties do, remember, they're 12 yards, right? Both safeties are 12 yards deep. They're sitting and zitting 3 steps, reading surface. They see the hi-hats. Now they're looking at 2. They see the slant. So they just backdoor, which means they stay put. And now they get eyes on 1. He's on a slant. That's the sit and zit. Sit and zit. And now get your eyes on the quarterback. And keep your head on a swivel. Quarterback to 2 to 1, inside out. Quarterback 2 to 1, quarterback 2 to 1. Okay? And so what they're looking for is the quarterback looking to our left or is he looking to our right? Is he looking at 2? Is he looking at 1? Does he have front hand off? Right? Is one of these guys looking to make it a double move? If so, they will have a man running with them. But you now have to become the deep help over the top. Okay, so it's a very safe and secure coverage with deep help behind it on both sides, this grade 3 versus Dakota. So as I said at the beginning, my subscribers, I thank you. Non-subscribers, I'm hoping I teased you into pushing that button. And to everybody, please reach out to me, CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. I like to thank you for watching MJS Coaching Football, and I'd also like to thank YouTube for providing this platform.